We're talking
very posh.
Well, rightly so, because
Yes.
it's been thrilling millions of viewers worldwide since it first hit our screens back in 2020. And now the Netflix Regency drama Bridgerton is set to return this week with the second instalment of its third series. Sally's
Very excited about it. It's very excited. It, of course, documents the lives of the wealthy Bridgerton family as they navigate London's very competitive social season.
In a moment, we'll speak to one of the cast. But first, let's have a quick look.
How are we expected to understand all these society rules when even someone born into this world cannot grasp them?
Do you see those two? Lord and Lady de Leon. It is considered impolite to dance as often as they do with the same partner, but they cannot keep themselves off the floor. And Lord and Lady Singer. The rule is you're not supposed to have more than 1 or 2 drinks at these events, and yet they are like that every time. Drunk as fiddlers and happy. Do you know what both of these couples have in common? They are married, like yourself. All these rules are to keep the marriage mart churning. But once you have performed your function and found your match, you are free.
Well, we saw the actor Martin's Imhangbe there, who plays boxer Will, and he joins us now. Morning.
Hello.
Thank
Good
you
morning.
so much for coming. And I imagine
Pleasure.
it's quite a busy week for you this week.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on,
Yeah, it's the launch of the part 2.
which everybody is waiting for. And
Yeah.
your character, I know, has played a really important part up until now. But things are going to get even more dramatic, aren't they?
Yeah.
I know you have to be really careful how you
You have
talk
to be
about
so
it.
careful. The spoilers, there's so much to anticipate. There's so much to be excited for. You know, it's going to really ramp up. So, yeah, I think...
Am I right in thinking that your character is actually based on a real person?
Yeah.
In a way. So tell us about him.
So Will Mondrich is based on Bill Richmond. So Bill Richmond was the first black boxing entrepreneur in London. So he had all these boxing exhibitions. So my character is loosely based on him, even though he was from America and had an American accent and stuff like that. But we kind of tailored it for our show. So we set Will Mondrich in London.
And that's the key to Bridgerton, isn't it? It's history and then a bit of flexibility and coming up with this whole new world.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But it is very, I would say, very specific in terms of, like, for example, Queen Charlotte, she really existed, like, you know, Bill Richmond really existed. So it's honouring the times as it was.
And this is a really obvious question, but I've got to ask you, what's the reaction like now? Because it's huge, and it's
Yeah.
not just in this country, it's global, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's it like for you now? How is life changing?
Do you know what? I've been on the show since 2019. So when it came out during lockdown, it was like a phenomenon. It blew up. Like, family were calling me, like, you know, and it just keeps evolving. It keeps getting better, and the fan base is growing. I know people are going back to watch season 1 and catching up now. So it's just the gift that keeps on giving, and it's just expanding, isn't it? It's just...
So you're used to it now?
Very much so. Very much so, yeah.
How much fun is it to make?
Very fun. I think it's a fun ensemble. Everyone's great, and everyone's heart is in the right place. Everyone cares about it. Everyone is... I think the actors are also fans of the show, so it's nice to be in that company.
It's funny because you are literally you're walking on eggshells this week because you're not allowed to release.
Exactly.
What can you tell us about what to expect?
I could tell you that everyone's going to be satisfied. Everyone's going to be...
Okay.
The fans are going to be satisfied with the ending.
Oh, that's good.
And also they're going to want more.
Is there always more?
There's always more.
Wow.
There's always more, which is good. It's a nice little balance, isn't it?
Because this could run around. I mean, there are so many characters, there are so many interweaving stories. It could go on forever, potentially.
Yeah, there are 8 books.
Wow.
So potentially 8 seasons, who knows?
And you say, you know, obviously you've been in it since 2019, as have many of the other characters too, other actors. Do you feel like you've almost grown up together a little bit?
Yeah.
What's that been like?
It's amazing because you see it on screen, you know. So, for example, when you see the younger Bridgertons and you see how they look now in comparison to season 1, it's like they're growing up, you know. Like, so, Yeah, it's been nice to grow with the company.
And your character has just come into a huge amount of cash, is that right?
Yeah, something like that. Something like
So
that.
life's
yeah.
very, very different.
Yeah, very different. So the Mondriches inherit a new title, and our son becomes the Baron of Kent through Alice Mondrich, who is my wife in the show, and we inherit this huge estate. So the whole storyline is, you know, what does it mean for our future? What does it mean for our children? And, you know, it seems straightforward. It seems like, yes, you jump at the opportunity, but at the same time, you have to be careful because you don't know what the rules are, you don't know what the etiquette is, so you have to be very mindful of how you navigate high society. Because there could be a scandal, you could lose everything. So there's so much at stake.
There's a scandal.
There's always a scandal. So I think it's being mindful of all those things, you know.
And for you as an actor, having a character which has to evolve and navigate all those different rules and situations, that must be a real thrill.
It is, yeah, because I started off as a boxer, then a bar owner, now, you know, have the Kent estate. So it's nice to go on a journey with a character as opposed to just being one thing, you know?
How does it feel so modern? That's what when I'm watching it, I think it doesn't feel old-fashioned. I know it's
Partly the music, isn't it? Those sort of classic treatments of new tracks, yeah.
Yeah, it's very relatable, isn't it? And love, you know, love is universal and love is timeless. So we can all see ourselves within these characters, and it's nice to see different examples of love. It's not just one type of love, you know. There's a spectrum, so it's nice to see that.
Yes, there's quite a lot of love in it, isn't there?
There's a lot of love.
Noticed.
A lot of love, yeah.
And the rest, it's quite racy too.
It sure is.
Do you find yourself acting all posh when you go out and get on the bus or whatever on the
No.
tube and like living in character? Martin, thank you so
Pleasure.
much. Lovely to meet you. Good luck
you.
with it.
Thank you so
Part
much.
2 of Series 3. They're very clever the way they drop it in different
Yes.
chunks. Released on Netflix on Thursday.
We will be watching.
You will definitely,
Well, I'll
you'll be
watch
there
it.
midnight, ready to press play.